We are Ashley and Percy Taba, founders of the Healthy Families Foundation. This foundation was created to eradicate serious social ills which plague our nation. We realize that as long as we keep dealing with symptoms and awareness campaigns, the problems are not going away. We need to fix the root cause of broken homes. We started this work of building healthier families in 2020 with a nationally aired TV show aired in a prime slot, which was well received and deemed very impactful.
We are the Tabas. I am Percy, and this is my lovely wife, Ashley.
The TV show led to national and local leaders inviting us to teach what we taught on TV in communities around the nation.
We are very lucky because the family here, the Taba family, are talking of families, and in the families they are also thinking about marriage. They will come, they will teach us, but we have to accept. But the way I understood it, we have already accepted. Whatever has been brought here must replicate, must spread, must continue, must roll up to the entire nation.
Allow me to derive motivation from the book of Proverbs, which reads us: a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. 3 years now, my ministry has had the blessing of that brother and sister, born for a time of adversity. That is Percy and Ashley Taba. They offer education to Botswana on key religious values that respect the family and sanctity of marriage in God's way. 3,000 of you, Botswana stands to gain massively from your loyalty to this campaign. Your testimonies were moving. The core of our existence, that is the family, shall become a fortress for building a moral tolerant nation that is accountable. Let statistics of all the social ills bedeviling us bow at the mention of your intervention. This campaign addresses the core mandate of my ministry, that is, appealing. It addresses the soul and affords all peace. The Tabas, you are indeed that friend who loves at all times. Soldier on.
We go into a community for 18 days to do a family building campaign. Of those 18 days, 12 days of it consists of hundreds of local volunteers coming to a central location from 9 to 11 a.m., where we teach them one chapter of our marriage book. From there, every afternoon, those same volunteers which were taught go back to their workplaces, police stations, prisons, army barracks, neighborhoods, bars, taxi rank, hair salons, churches, etc., to teach their own individual group that same chapter we taught them in the morning. Then they come back the next day and we teach them the second chapter, and they return back to their same group and teach them again. We do this for 12 consecutive working days. So by the time we leave a place, there are hundreds of these social support groups that have led people into true life transformation based on the topics taught and discussions they had. This is how thousands attend these campaigns daily and experience true revival and mindset change.
To help you understand what all the campaigns look like behind the scenes, let's take a closer look at one specific campaign in Kanye.
I have no doubt that this campaign is doing quite a lot than what we are seeing, with our just general observation as people are coming in and out. And I think the long-term impact will be really something that we are waiting to see. I think what amazes us is the numbers that are impacted, and also the ages of people, varied ages, the old, the young alike. And this program is so amazing in that it cuts across all ages and impacts similarly across all ages. And I think really we should get this campaign to every part of this nation, and probably even to every part of the world. This program is really doing a great impact in building the lives of people in the nation of Botswana.
One of the difficulties that we have is the raising of funds to actually fund the projects that we do. Often you find that we spend months just trying to raise the funds to do the project, which ends up actually taking us off the focus of what we are really good at, which is doing these impactful campaigns.
I'm actually excited to be here in one of the campaigns that we have sponsored as the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. We met Healthy Families Foundation in 2018 when they were requesting for a partnership with our ministry. We were very doubtful by that time because they were, sharing very, very high targets that they wanted to reach about 3,000 people or so, and they were also citing that they were going to have the methodology takes 18 days, and we thought that would not be a realistic approach. But we are here witnessing one of the great campaigns which took 18 days, and we are also seeing that people are actually reluctant to go home at the end of the campaign. And the massive numbers of people, which is more than 3,000, we are happy to see them realizing this dream because they are pushing our mandate as local government, which is the welfare of families.
To date, we've done this campaign with over 17,000 people directly in various locations around the country. But already we have many village leaders that are lined up waiting and asking for us to come to them next. Our only limitation is funding.
You are helping me as a minister. You have uplifted a certain amount of weight from my shoulders. I think today I will sleep an extra 30 minutes. Because I am now happy to see the progress. And I can assure you that I will support you to ensure that you crisscross this current.
Every day of the campaign starts from about 7 a.m. until about 10, 11 p.m. Basically filled with a lot of preparation until we get into the hall where we then teach a topic from 9 to 11 a.m. And then after the teaching, we have individual counseling sessions, group counseling sessions. And then in the afternoon, we go visiting the different groups, wherever these groups are around the village. There's a lot of mingling with the campaign attendants. And we also have to make time towards the end of the day to meet with our own Healthy Families Foundation team of volunteers to just oversee them and make sure they are also happy, because we have to take care of their welfare as well. So this repeats itself for the 18 days that we are in a community.
We're not superheroes. You know what I mean? We're just normal people who seek God, love one another, for better or for worse.
Today went really well. It was yet another impactful session. And the topic of the day was substance abuse. And as you can imagine, this affects a lot of people. At one point, actually, my wife asked, just with a show of hand, how many people were affected, either in their home or somebody they know who is addicted to some substance. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, and almost everyone in the room lifted their hand. This is a subject that really affects our homes, our marriages. I was able to even talk about my own situation growing up with a father who was an alcoholic for 42 years. It affected us negatively, but thank God, because God has really changed my father's life. He's now been clean for, I believe, 7 to 8 years, and this has really helped a lot of us. It also brought issues of forgiveness, unforgiveness, because when these things, they break families, they break marriages. So people really responded well. People had a lot of personal issues that they needed to also share, and just be that ear that's listening, and then they could really relate with my story.
One of the great things about these campaigns is it always attracts local and national leaders because they want to come and see what is all this about, where thousands of people are gathering. And Kanye was no different. We had the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Kwapi, who came and joined us for a few sessions, actually. He came and joined a group of pastors to hear about the impact of what they were saying about how this was impacting them in their village. He came and joined us in a topic on finances as we were teaching the people on the interesting topic of money. And then he came to a small group discussion at the police and listened to a very lively debate on how to affair-proof your marriage. How do you keep your marriage one that you don't cheat on each other, which was really fun.
You have to learn your partner's love languages.
So this question is more about how do you affair-proof? How do you fight that urge when you see someone else and you're like, but you know that's not yours. This is yours. So what do you do?
But we use an analogy of cars. You're driving a Honda Fit and you see somebody pass by with a Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Do you pursue the Mercedes-Benz, which you can have, which is not yours, or stick to your Honda and see how best to improve it?
Yes.
That was the
analogy.
That was the analogy.
We need this. Ghana, this thing, I have a feeling that one day, I get that changing the life of the nation. One day, they will be changing the lives of SADC, then the whole world.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
One of the things he actually commented to us later was how impressed he was with how open people are when you actually talk about things that are close to their heart and real in their lives.
You know, the reason why we have allowed our officers to join this campaign, Happy Family, is they are part of the society. They come from that society. And if they had some misunderstanding or conflicts on their day-to-day lives, they will know how to solve them. You know, for a person or for a family to be happy, they should understand actually what is meant by a happy family. They should understand the circumstances that happen, the challenges that comes, and how are they going to solve those challenges. If they are blank, then they will always come to work depressed because they don't know how to solve. They have never been taught about managing their marriage, managing their welfare, managing their finances. Because if they know these things, it's something that can make their lives happy. Thank you very much.
One of the most important aspects of these campaigns is data collection and data analysis. And so for that, we actually hire experts in the area to help us measure the impact of these campaigns. And these experts we have engaged from the United States of America, from South Africa, from Botswana, as they help us monitor if these campaigns are actually as impactful as we think they are.
My role as a research specialist is to take you through the process that we go through after we've delivered or during the program that we're delivering. This is the Healthy Families Foundation program. So the program is tailored to meet community needs and to address different topics that are coming from the problems that we have in the society. However, for us to measure the effectiveness of the program, it is very critical for us to do some research along the way. So one of the things that we do is to measure different indicators. We do have a theory of change, and a theory of change is basically a model that we use that tells us or informs us the outcomes that we could possibly come out looking at the different inputs that we put in. So for instance, given that the program targets families and addresses family issues, we are looking to measure indicators that are linked to changes in behavior or changes that are being observed in the family. So for instance, the very first thing that we measure is to measure the attendance, because it is actually very critical for every single person to attend all 13 sessions, and also the attendance of the group sessions that happen post the initial settings. Why do I say this? This is important in that the sessions are interlinked. Attendance is captured daily. Over and above the attendance that we measure, at the beginning, we measure different indicators that are related to communication behavior, behavior within their relationship, their perceptions about their relationship at the beginning of the program. 6 months later, we do follow-ups, and we are measuring the same things that we measured at baseline. And post the campaign, we do follow-ups, and we tie them directly to the impact of the program. Most of the participants actually report that after implementing some of the lessons that they've learned through the campaign, they actually see change within their family. They also see change within themselves, their ability to communicate better, for instance, their ability to change some of their habits. And this is very indicative of behavioral change that is on the onset. So really, this is a powerful campaign with a reach of over 16,000 people in 3 years, and even more that is undocumented. We can really say this is a powerful campaign.
Hey, Family Foundation, Healthy Foundation, in thutile go le gontsi. Ke itemogetse dilo tse dintsi thata mo go yone ka go lebaka la gore tse dingwe re ntse re di dira dilo re ipolelela gore ke jaaka re dira sentle. Ke ha ke tsena go lapeng ke reile moname ka mora ka rra he tare go ithuta re le mmogo ka gore ha ke tla ka dithuto tse e go na ka ke tlhaba dinane mo go wena mme kante ke so se leng gore ha ne re ja bothito jwa teng mmogo le lelapa la rona ne le tla le ka gore la agege le bana.
One of the things that takes up a lot of time in these campaigns is that every evening our team of volunteers, we sit together and we take the registration forms from the morning.
So even right now, if you could see what I'm seeing, you would see my whole team is here just working on trying to add up the days on 3,000 people.
And we make sure that all the information has been entered correctly. So this data collection gives a true depiction of the demographics that our stakeholders and our sponsors are interested in. That could be how many women are attending, how many youth, how many men, and what is it that they are saying about these campaigns, because we also do surveys with them.
What people don't realize is the amount of work that is put into the data collection so that we can say the campaign was successful. All these are registers from groups. You can see how many we have here. Every group leader is given a registration paper where he puts all his participants or her participants. They record all the information that we need, from the name to the physical address and the age range. And at the end of each and every day, we come back as a team to come and analyze this information. We enter it into systems so that we know how many groups we have. What we do is that we sit around as a team, and all this information recorded here, we re-record it into the system using our phones and computers. So at the end of the campaign, the last day of the campaign, every person who has attended 10 to 12 days qualifies for a certificate.
These campaigns are so impactful because of the hundreds of people that we work with behind the scenes. Probably the most crucial is the 10 Healthy Families Foundation staff and volunteers that come with us to every campaign, and Kanye is no different. And they work tirelessly behind the scenes. They give sacrificially. They work cheerfully. They never complain, and they serve and they serve and they serve. And most of the time they're never even thanked. But most of this campaign happens because of their hard work behind the scenes.
What has really impacted me about this campaign is that the fact that it focuses on family and family building, and I'm aspiring to be to have a family, so I kind of like learned a lot before I could get or take a step of going into marriage. So I think it has really molded me, built me, and opened my eyes to the things that happen within marriage. So I'm really, really appreciative of everything that I've learned.
Normally, as Botswana, we have this saying of, when something is introduced, we say ke sa makgowa, meaning is for the white people. So I always ask people this question that is it working for them? And normally the answer is yes. And then I ask them, I ask a follow-up question, which is, if it's working for them, why don't we just try it and see if it will work for us? So I believe the Healthy Families Foundation program could be very, very impactful for the nation if we could adopt it as Botswana.
What I generally do is to organize campaigns at every village or town. What happens is that I go before the time to speak to people, mobilize the community. I speak to the courses for the entire village. I speak to the education directors in that district. I speak to the officer commanding for the police force. I have to speak to them so that they understand what the Healthy Families Foundation does, and they also understand that when we run our campaigns, we expect that people to come as representatives for the entire institution. And then those leaders, we refer to them as facilitators. Therefore, we group them, they go into a building or structure or a place where we will be teaching, and then we teach them all the 13 topics which we teach in every campaign. And at every lesson, they take what you teach and then they go to their groups or their institutions to teach the people out there. Fix the root, fix the fruit. Fix the root, fix the fruit. These campaigns are impactful. People learn and then they stand up to testify that their lives have been changed. And in most cases, other people in the community, they are the ones who give us feedback on particular individuals that since that person attended your campaign, they have changed this way.
The challenge of gender-based violence was growing in this country, but the tides are turning. And interestingly enough, this is one area that a lot of people, especially in the rural areas, were very uncomfortable to talk about. Now with the openness of the Taba family, of Percy and Ashley, people are getting the courage to open up and talk about things that have been destroying their families, that usually lead to the gender-based violence.
Ke gore re na le bana mo malapeng mme mo malapeng a rona ga gona tsosanyo ka bana ba rona ga gona kagiso.
My testimony is that since I've been part of this program, my life has changed tremendously. I have been able to be more self-aware. I have learned a lot about communication, and that has prepared me a lot.
I encourage many youth to come and get these lessons, because these lessons can make you to be a strong man, can make you to be a man with a responsibility.
The closing ceremony is still going on right now. There's a lot of excitement in there. People are getting their completion certificates. We've been in Kanye since the 16th of October. 18 days in one place of a lot of impact. It's been exciting, teaching, going to groups and seeing those that we've been teaching, how they are teaching at the groups, and listening to all kinds of testimonies from people, how their lives have been impacted. It's been amazing. The Lord has really led us. He has been so gracious to help us to do such a great work. We are talking 3,079 people who have directly impacted with this kind of teaching. And you know, we are graced here by Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Lemoga Nkwape. We have the chiefs who are here present, councillors. You know, we have the office of the DC himself, and the deputy, police, soldiers, people from different kinds of government offices, and just it's really wonderful. All our sponsors from local government, from Ministry of Youth, and also from Botswana Johnny Mine. It's been an amazing, amazing work. We were so glad and so privileged to be the ones who get to do this work and see these changes and the impact in the lives of people here in Ghana.
Let me start off with how the event went. I think it went beyond my expectation. The turnout was very good, and the subject matter that was discussed was pertinent because people could relate to it, and there were solutions proposed, and people are embracing the solutions, and I think this will continue. And I'm glad that the idea came to me to invite the Tabas to come to Kanye and to engage with families, because the idea is that when we build families, we build communities, and when we build communities, we build the country. And as the President said, we need to change our mindset, and I think this is a contribution to the mindset change program that the President has initiated.
My experience today has been quite mind-blowing, I have to say. I am amazed at the level of coordination that the team has and the amount of work and dedication that comes from the individuals themselves who are participants to the program. In this campaign in Kanye, we, through the Healthy Families Foundation, from the reports and the evidence that I have seen today, were a whole hallway was packed with more than 300 individuals, were able to impact the communities out there in excess of 6,000. So you do realize that the program, the way that it's set out, is impactful. It's meant to be impactful, and there is no way, the way that it has been set up, that we cannot be changed after 12 days. Let's seek to understand, because this is life-changing indeed. Thank you so much.
Today's event was really amazing, and it just shows the people of Botswana really do want change in their lives, and they're really willing to learn new ways of doing things that are healthier and happier. And the testimonies about youth empowerment and gender-based violence being decreased and substance abuse being decreased and marriages being restored, it's just indicative of the massive revival that these campaigns see. It's beautiful, it's amazing, it's community upliftment, it's exciting, and it's just an honor to be a part of this and to be here today. And so, yeah, I'm very excited.
We are happy we're having our certificate of completion. We think this teaching must come again on our side. We are very happy and I'm excited. We love you, the Tabas. Come again.
Yeah.